So now I'm going to show a little demo on one particular use case. In this case, it starts with a form. I'm a marketer, and I'm planning to have a product showcase on a couple different dates. So I create a form that asks the name, it asks their company, their title, their email address, and so on. And then a couple different things about the dietary constraints for that particular person and what days they want to attend. So I've got a form, and then I have a flow. This flow I've left on, but I can view it. I just can't edit it. What it does, as you can see by these action cards, is it's waiting for a forms event for a new submission to come in. And it's going to take that submission and it's going to add it to a spreadsheet. So I have a spreadsheet set up, which I'll show you here. A spreadsheet set up waiting for the information to come in. And when I submit a new form, which I filled out here, I have Zach Jones is going to fill all the stuff out. He's going to submit it. And then in this case, it will go out and get that data. It also grabbed all the rest of the data for some things that I'd already filled in. But as people fill out the forms, this form would fill out just that far. Now, that's great. I've now collected what day people want to come in the date chosen here. I can see a bunch of those. The form itself has an ID that's a unique identifier. But what I need to do now is, after the show, I want them to fill out another form, another survey. So I've created a survey that says, that asks them a few questions. I'm going to close this and turn it off real quick. I have a survey here called Product Showcase Follow-Up. Now it's asking them, they may have asked for one date, but they may have actually attended on a different date. I asked how things went. I asked for some comments, and I asked whether they would recommend this to colleagues. Now I've got a flow here that's waiting, just like the other one was, and I've just turned it off, so I won't do anything yet. So I have a flow here that's waiting for an event trigger, a new submission to come in for my project called Product Showcase Follow-Up. Now it's going through, and it's looking for on my spreadsheet on sheet 1, and it's going to match the email address, which I consider to be the unique part of this. If somebody fills out a secondary form, it's their email address that's going to tell me where to put it. And I have a mapper down here. What my mapper does is it's looking at the destination. So these are all the fields, the columns in my spreadsheet. Company, last name, first name. Those are the ones I don't need for this one, but I used in the last one. And then I select a source. So if I picked, for example, date chosen, I would go back over here, and there might be a field over here where that's the information that they provided. But I don't need those ones. I only need email address because that's my main unique field, and then these ratings and things that I had in my form. So when I have that ready to go and I turn it on, I always have to remember to turn it on. It's going to ask me, what does new mean? In this case, it means from the last time that you ran or from the beginning of time. I'll choose that one. And it's now on, and it's waiting for a submission. So if our Z Jones at BigCore goes in here and he says, oh, well, I attended on Monday. I loved it. The food was not great, but the depth of product knowledge was pretty good. Got some comments, and he hits submit. So now the flow should be running, and up here for Zach Jones, you can see that information just popped in there, all the ratings that I put in. So now I have ratings on numbers. I could take that data and I could put it into TIBCO's Spotfire cloud product. I could create a graph right here in Google Sheets. I can do any number of things with this survey data that I'm collecting. The last thing that I did, and I don't think that I showed it, is that when somebody registers, that was the form, when somebody registers their, go back to projects, when somebody registers for the product marketing showcase, in my flow, I had an action down here. I decided that what I really wanted to do is when somebody registers, I want to have the system email me. So I've created a Gmail action, which I grabbed from my connectors, and I added in my email address here. And then down here, I said, well, I want to personalize this, not personalize it for them, but to tell me what happened. So I pushed the $sign key, and I can go add their first name in there, insert it in, and now I have first name, last name, just registered for Showcase. So I'll get an email every time somebody registers. So there's a lot of different things you can do for an event. You don't have to think of them all in advance. You can build your event from the first form that you create to the spreadsheet, and then say, oh, I wonder if I could do this other thing. Oh, maybe I should add that part on there and make my own application for running my event.